Hey there, Hannah here. I just wanted to share with you a little bit about my mentorship program, 0 to CD, which helps you earn your first competition obedience title using positive reinforcement methods. And I know you're excited about it and curious to find out how exactly it all works. First, let's talk about our philosophy, because for us, it's not enough just to get the title. You and I, we care about how we get there. Our goal is to develop you and your dog into a working team that performs with confidence and enthusiasm, and we'll do that by focusing on building behavior, teaching you and your dog what to do through clear communication and positive reinforcement. So all of our methods are 100% clicker compatible. This program focuses on really good handler mechanics. I'm teaching you to teach your dog, so good handler skills are critical. The program breaks all of their tasks down into bite-sized chunks. So if you've worked with me before, you know that's kind of my thing. I love taking complex stuff down, deconstructing it, and breaking it into little individual tasks, and then putting it together in a systematic progression that's logical and easy for you to follow. And we'll be doing that here. Our priorities are always going to be putting the emotional state first, then motivation and engagement, and then teaching fluent, precise skills. And this goes for both humans and dogs, because I know if you and your dog are both confident, motivated, focused, and know what you're supposed to do and when you're supposed to do it, you'll totally rock it in the obedience ring. Now, the process of preparing to compete in any sport, obedience being no exception, is complicated. There are a lot of moving parts to keep track of. It's easy to get overwhelmed thinking of all the things you need to teach your dog and practice and proof. So to help us get organized, I've broken all the tasks down and put them into 5 buckets or categories: teaching the skills, building motivation, building confidence, chaining the behaviors together to form exercises, and incorporating the elements of the ring routine. And this is the system that we'll use to apply it. Our whole performance is one long behavior chain, right? The performance breaks down into exercises, and those break down into skills and behaviors. So I've broken those behaviors down into little bites, individual units of behavior. The first thing we'll do with the unit of behavior is teach it. We'll teach the dog how to do the thing. Then once we have that skill learned and on cue, we'll drop it into the second bucket, motivation, where we'll work on drive building, varying reinforcement, and solidifying a nice, robust behavior. Next, we'll move it into the confidence bucket, where we'll show the dog different variations in the picture, which others might call distraction proofing, but we'll be focusing on building the dog's confidence in the face of specific distractions he'll see in the ring. And after that, we'll move it into the chaining bucket, where we'll start putting pieces together. And then on into the ring routine bucket, where we'll incorporate the skill into the formal performance. So we'll run it as sort of a little assembly line. With the first module, we'll take our first set of skills and drop those into the hopper. And then with the next module, once that first set of skills are learned, we'll move that set of skills into the motivation bucket, which leaves the skills bucket empty. So we'll drop our new second set of skills in there. And then with the third module, we'll move the first set of skills into the confidence bucket, and the second set of skills into the motivation bucket, and a new third set of skills, skills 3, into the skills bucket to work on there. And we'll keep moving on down the line until eventually everything is assembled down here at the end in the ring routine bucket. And that's our performance. So in that way, the modules build on each other. Each module contains specific training tasks and objectives for each category, such that we're gradually layering in more complex training as we move along the path to performance. And distraction proofing and all those other elements are already integrated right into the training process, so you can't accidentally leave anything out or get lost. The modules are totally self-paced, so you can take as long as you need to complete the objectives for each one. And as soon as you've completed one module, you can move on to the next one. And in fact, I'm going to give this to you in checklist form so that keeping track of your progress is as easy as possible. You know what you're working on and in what order. And I know that planning is the hardest part, so I want to make this easy for you. The program and our group, we're going to be planning in 2-week cycles. So every other weekend, you'll block out your schedule for the next 2 weeks. You'll figure out when in the week you're going to be training, and we'll fill in that plan with which tasks from the training modules you'll be working on at each time. Sunday night is our official review and plan night, and we have checklists and templates for your review process as well. And then on Monday morning, our official accountability check-in in the group to keep you on track. And we're shaping behavior here too. So again, with starting off easy, you'll just decide when and where you're going to train during that 2 weeks. Block it off. Are you going to be training at home? Or are you going to be on the road? If on the road, where are you going to train? And when specifically in that day in your schedule are you going to be doing the training? And of course, make sure that within that 2-week period, you're including the time for our official review and plan process. And then all you have to do is go to those modules, grab the tasks that you need to work on in those 2 weeks, and drop those into the appropriate block on your schedule. So it's pretty easy. But I really want to make this accessible and really as easy as possible. I know that if it's hard, I'm probably not going to do it, especially if it's in the area of anything that looks administrative. So record keeping, anything like that. It gets boring fast. So first, I find it helps if it's pretty. So we put a little bit of effort into that. And I'm a big fan of templates. I think everything is easier, especially in this area, if you have a structure to work with. So you're not having to always come up with your own plan in your head. So all of the checklists and templates are provided in PDF form so that you can print them out, put them in a notebook, maybe decoupage your dog's picture on the front, or you could save these into Evernote where you can easily reference them from your tablet or phone when you're out and about doing the actual training. So once you know what you're training and when you're training it, you need to know exactly how to train. So the training library contains step-by-step instructions for each of those training tasks from the modules. We've got a category for each of the buckets, and then those break down into the matching levels for each module. And then within each of those are the different exercises, and then those open up to giving you the instructions and video examples of exactly what it is that you're going to be training. To make sure that we fully prepare the human side of the team, we also have a section dedicated to handling and logistics. We have overviews of the program, novice-level obedience competition, and each of the exercises so that you can start seeing the big picture even as we're working on the individual components of training. We'll cover the rules of the game, what various point deductions mean and which ones you should care about, and how to win this crazy game of obedience. We also have what to expect on the day of the show, what it will look like, how the rings will be laid out, what you should bring, what kind of equipment, when you need to arrive, and also resources for how to fill out the paperwork to actually enter the show, which is one of the things you have to do to actually earn the title, it turns out. And we also have instructions and exercises for your handling behavior, basically how to cue the dog legally and effectively in the ring. And because knowing how to do something is never enough, otherwise we'd all be millionaires with six-pack abs. I forget where that quote's from, but it's 100% true. We need support and accountability to stay on track with a project of this size. So we have support available in many forms with this program. Our group members have proven to be insanely helpful and supportive, creating an environment where everyone wants each other to succeed, which is really pretty cool. I'm excited about that. But we also have live office hours where I'll be hanging out in the chat room for you to ask any questions that you have. And then you can also post short video clips of your training to get feedback from me. We'll also have video coaching calls so you can see my lovely face for what that's worth and also ask your questions. And even occasional training demonstrations or whatever else pops into my head, other ideas that I might have to keep things interesting, because I figure if I'm bored, you are bored. And frankly, I just don't do boring things like QuickBooks. So I like to have fun, and I'm going to bring you along with me for the ride. And that's our program. If this sounds like your kind of thing, I hope you'll join me. You can enroll at www.0tocd.com. Thank you for your time. I hope to see you soon.